So yesterday we discussed regarding the objectives and the goals of pre-formulation. So today we are going to see what are the things which are studied under pre-formulation factors, means which factors are studied in pre-formulation. So as we have seen yesterday that we study the physical as well as chemical properties of a drug substance, whether it is a new chemical entity or already existing drug. So the factors such as pH, pKa, then solubility, then thermal and heat effect, then dissociation constant, then compatibility studies, oxidation and reduction, and particle size are some of the factors just which I have enlisted over here, which we are going to study under pre-formulation factors. Now, as pre-formulation deals with the study of physical properties as well as chemical properties, so we'll move one by one. So firstly, we'll target on the physical properties of a drug substance. So which physical properties do we study under the pre-formulation studies we are going to see. Now, as we know, you may have studied various physical properties till now. So as you are in third year B.Pharm, you are in a position to tell us that what are the various physical properties. Can anyone enlist some of the physical properties for me? Yes, student, be fast.
Melting and boiling point.
Good. Okay. Now, see in first year B.Pharm, when you have studied for pharmaceutics, the first thing which you have studied are the different types of dosage form. So these dosage form are classified into solid, liquid and gaseous, okay, or semi-solid. Do you agree with this?
Yes, sir.
So what is this? This is a so it is one type of physical form. Now suppose if I have something which is in a semi-solid form, that is a cream or gel. If I have something in a form of gas, that is the aerosol system, or the various gases, medicinal gases such as oxygen, which we give. So these are the different states which we have. So in the same way, this plays a major role in the overall pre-formulation study of a drug. Now let's see in detail. Now physical properties, when we talk about, they are vital to, it's very vital to understand the physical description of a drug substance. Now when we say the physical description of a drug substance, it means what we are going to target. So whether it is a solid in nature, whether it is semi-solid, liquid or gases, prior to dosage form development. Now most drugs nowadays which are available, you will find they are available in a solid material or in a solid form, and less number you can find liquid. Less number is there for the liquid drugs. Then the other properties, for example, the flowability of a powder and the chemical stability depends mainly on the habit and the internal structure of a drug. Means, be it the dissolution profile, be it the solubility profile, be it the flowability of a drug, if it is present in a solid form or even in a other form, it depends on the habit or the internal structure. And specifically when we talk about the solid materials, the overall solubility, it depends on the internal structure of the drug. Now let's move further and see it in detail. Now which are the principal areas of pre-formulation? Sorry. So the principal areas of pre-formulation include, firstly, the nature of solid drug. Now when we say, now suppose if you have a drug, okay, firstly we should know the nature, okay. So what's the nature, if it is solid, whether it is having a crystalline, whether it is crystalline, whether it is in a crystalline form or in amorphous form, okay. So we should know that what is the crystallinity as well as the polymorphism for the drug. Then we have other points with respect to the nature of drug, that is hygroscopicity, that is checked with the help of various analytical instrument. Then the fine particle characterization, means the particle size characterization. Then the flow properties of the drug, that is the powder flow. Then we have the solubility data. Now when we talk about solubility data, in which we are going to study ionization constant, that is pK, then pH solubility profile, then common ion effect, thermal effects, solubilization, partition coefficient, and dissolution. Then we have stability analysis. Now in stability analysis, the stability in terms of toxicology for the formulation is studied. Then the solution stability at a pH that is, we study the pH stability profile, at what pH the dosage form will be stable. And then the solid state stability, that is bulk stability and compatibility. So these are some of the principal areas which we are going to study in detail. Now today we are going to mainly focus on the certain points, that is the nature of a solid drug. The first point, that is whether it is crystalline in nature or whether it is amorphous in nature, and how this nature of a drug plays an important role in the overall formulation and development of a drug. So you can take a screenshot of this principal areas of pre-formulation. Otherwise, I am going to share the PPT also with you people, so that when you study, it becomes easier for you. Now moving further, so I hope up to this point it is clear to everyone. So what we are going to discuss today, dear students, in detail, what we are going to discuss in detail, we are going to talk about what? We are going to talk about the
principal areas of pre-formulation.
So under principal areas of pre-formulation, the first point which we are going to discuss is the nature of solid drug. Okay. So whenever a drug molecule is invented, all the solid forms are hardly identified. Now suppose if we today if a drug is approved, okay, it is invented, it goes, it gets an that is the regulatory clearance from the regulatory agencies. So when a new drugs come, it is called as NDA, that is new drug application, is filed by the company who has invented a drug. So once at the time when it is invented, all the forms of the drugs are not known. So during bulk characterization, the following characteristics are studied. So in which firstly we focus on the crystallinity of the drug, and then see whether any polymorphism or any polymorph are present for the drug. Now as you all know, now suppose if I have a crystal habit of a drug, that is the external structure of a crystal is the description of the outer appearance of the crystal. Now suppose if I look a drug under microscope, I can have various type of shapes for the arrangement. I can have a various type of shape depending on the internal arrangement of the molecules into the drug. I hope everyone agree with this. Hello.
Yes, sir.
See, whatever the form it is, for example, it is a needle-like, or we have the other forms, that is tabular form or prism type. So, what decide the internal structure of the compound decide this crystal habit of a drug. Everyone agree with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, a single internal structure for a compound may have different habits. Now, even though the internal structure of the compound is same, but they may have different habits depending on the environment for the growing crystal. Means the environment in which this internal structure is going to grow will decide the habit, the crystal habit of the compound. So the different habit of crystals are given below. For example, the internal structure of the drug may be mainly in two forms. You all know that, that is the crystalline and the amorphous form. So let's try to explore what do you mean by crystalline form and amorphous form, even though you may have studied this under physical pharmacy, but just for your knowledge and to get a deep insight for that is what crystalline and what amorphous form is all about. Let us see it in detail. So firstly, when we talk about crystal habits can be of various types. For example, we have platy, then needle, or acicular, then tabular, then equant, or massive, bladed, or prismatic. So these are some of the some examples of the crystal habits in which we can have a drug compound. Now coming towards the crystalline state in detail. So in crystalline state, how the arrangement of the internal structure or the molecules, how they are going to grow, it will decide the crystal habit for the drug molecule. Now in this state of matter, that is the crystalline state, atoms or molecules are arranged in a highly well ordered form. Now as they are arranged in a highly well ordered form and they are in association with the three-dimensional periodicity to organize themselves into their most favorable thermodynamic state, which under certain conditions result in the appearance as crystals. Hence the name is given as crystalline state. So what is the thing which we should note about the crystalline state? So here in the internal structure of the compound, that is means the arrangement of your atoms and molecules are arranged in such a way that they are well organized. So they are orderly, they are highly ordered in association with the three-dimension periodic, which organize them to keep them into the most thermodynamically stable state, and which result in a form of a crystals. Now this repeating three-dimensional patterns which are seen in such a kind of matter are called as crystal lattice. So this repetitive three-dimensional patterns are called as what? They are called as crystal lattice. And we can analyze this crystal lattice with the help of one of the technique that is called as X-ray diffraction pattern, or we can use X-ray diffraction studies are carried out to see what is the three-dimension pattern for the crystal lattice for any type of matter. So from this we'll come to know that which type of crystal lattice does the matter has. So the crystal habits, just we have seen in the earlier part the various types of crystal habits. For example, the platy, then we have needle or acicular, then tabular, then we have equant or massive, bladed. So these are some of the examples of the crystal habit. Then the second state, so I hope up to this point it is clear to everyone regarding the crystalline state. Mulin, yes, dear students.
Yes, sir.
So what
Yes,
is
sir.
crystalline state? So it is a state of a matter in which the atoms or molecules are highly well ordered, okay, in association with their three dimension periodicity to organize themselves in the most thermodynamic state, and which results in the appearance of this state as a crystal form. And then we have, so this repeating three dimension patterns are called as crystal lattice, and this crystal lattice we can study with the help of X-ray diffraction studies. And we know that to understand which type of crystal habit is present, for that we have to go and carry out the X-ray diffraction studies. And the different types of crystal habits which can be present includes needle, acicular, tabular, then bladed or premastic, etc. Now let's move to the next type, that is the amorphous form. Okay. So I hope everyone can see this slide clearly.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So from the name itself, that is amorphous form. Now suppose if we don't have any specific crystal lattice for matter which is under investigation, then whatever the solid which we have, okay, it will not have an internal structure. So in amorphous form, what happens? The solid do not have any definite internal structure. So there is no definite internal structure present in the amorphous form. So as in the crystalline form we have seen, the internal structure of the crystalline matter is highly ordered one. So here in amorphous form, as they do not have a definite internal structure, so what will happen? They have the atoms or molecules which are disorderly placed as in a liquid form. For example, of some of the amorphous form includes, that is amorphous itraconazole, it is ITRA, itraconazole. Then we have amorphous novobiosine. So these are some examples of amorphous form. Then how this amorphous form is prepared? The general preparation method for the amorphous form is prepared with the help of rapid precipitation, or we can use another technique, that is lyophilization. Lyophilization, in simple words we can say it is freeze drying, okay. So in lyophilization or in freeze drying, we go below minus 20 degree and we go and convert the drug into a powder form or lyophilized form, okay. Or cool wrapping, that is or rapid cooling of the molten liquid is done over here. And one of the classical example is of glass. So glass is also even though it looks solid in nature, so the actual form of glass is an amorphous form. So shall we move further? I hope this point is clear to everyone. Shall we move further, or you have any doubt over here?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay, now coming to the main point, that is what's the difference between the crystalline and amorphous form. Okay, so let's discuss it one by one in detail. So the first thing is regarding the crystalline form. Sorry for the interruption. So when we talk about the differentiation point between crystalline form and amorphous form, so let's differentiate this both the forms on the basis of certain things. First one is the structure, then the stability, then the solubility part, and change from one form to the other form. So the structure in crystalline form. So how is the structure in crystalline form? Are they highly ordered? They have a definite shape or not? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. So crystalline forms, they have a definite order internal structure. Okay. Then when we talk about amorphous form with respect to structure, amorphous form do not have any fixed or no sharp internal structure, that is crystalline structure. So everyone agree with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just for your information, so crystalline, they will be having a definite order of the internal structure, and amorphous, they do not have any fixed or the no sharp internal structure. So no crystal structure is present in amorphous form. Then talking about the next point, that is stability. So the stability of crystalline form is more stable. So they are more stable than its amorphous form, as it is having less internal energy. So when you talk in terms of thermodynamics, okay, or in terms of energy which is released from the crystalline form, it is very less. They are having the internal energy which is very less. So that is the reason they are more stable as compared to that of amorphous form. On the other hand, when we talk about the stability of amorphous form, so amorphous form, they have the higher thermodynamic energy than its crystalline form, and hence they are less stable as compared to the crystalline forms of the drug. So in terms of stability part, we can say the crystalline forms, they have the more stability as compared to amorphous form, because they are having less internal energy with respect to thermodynamics of the drug. And then the amorphous form, they have less stability as they are having higher thermodynamic energy. Now moving towards the next differentiation point, that is the solubility part. So in solubility aspect, crystalline form has less solubility than its amorphous form. So the crystalline form is less soluble as compared to that of the amorphous form. And when we talk for the amorphous form, the solubility of amorphous form, they have greater solubility than that of crystalline form. The next point is change from one form to the another form. So in crystalline form, they have less inclination to change its form during storage. So there are less chances that the form of a drug will be changing from the stable to metastable. Okay, so here the chances are less in the crystalline form. When you talk in terms for the amorphous form be likely to revert to more stable form during storage. So for example, the metastable form will try to convert to stable form for the amorphous form as compared to that of the crystalline form. So do you want me to repeat this thing again, or is it understood by you people? So these are the 4 differentiation point on the basis of which we have differentiate the crystalline form and the amorphous form. So I hope you people, you student have understood those. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now हे समजलंय सगळ्यांना?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I will take you to one of the SharePoint where I will tell you in detail again of the crystalline form and the amorphous form with the help of few examples. So time being, I am stopping the share for you people, and let me open this for you people. Just a minute.